Hey, what's up, guys? You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Alright, so in honor of Shisui being in the lucky board, which by the way, just spend all your fucking coupons you have, because this guy is a motherfucking beast. Pretty much one of the best ninjas in the game currently. Like, a ninja on his own, obviously, even without anyone to work with him. You just put him in a team and he's gonna fucking destroy people. So in honor of Shisui, I'm gonna be creating some teams for you guys out there that somehow managed to get him. And if you have no idea what the fuck you're doing, don't worry, I'm here to hold your hand, baby. Alright, so the first team that I've created with Shisui is this one. And this is also the arena team that I've gotten to 6-pass with. So let me tell you how this team works. First of all, you've got Shisui. Let's go over his abilities. He can remove all shields and buffs, so all immunities are gone, like Root of the Warrior, Flower Guard. Yeah, pretty much removes all shields and buffs like it says, and it chaoses for 2 rounds. It has a battlefield entrance cooldown of 1 turn. It costs 40 chakra, and it has a free turn cooldown. Now that free turn cooldown right there, that's his weakness. He has an attack which causes ignition up to 2 units, and the person in front gets repulsed. Now his chase is pretty underrated, and everybody takes it for granted, but his chase can tag. And tag, I'm not sure if it's explicitly stated in the game anywhere what tag actually does, but let's use it here. Right there. Tag debuff, a unit under this status will have its resistance and defense reduced by 30%. Like, a lot of people don't know this. They think tag is just a status effect that marks a ninja and doesn't do anything, but there you go. It reduces defense and resistance for 30%. So if you can get his chase off first and tag someone, and then use a mystery on them, you're gonna do pretty much, well, I don't know how the damage formulas work in this game, but you're gonna do damage with them without having that 30% defense and resistance. Alright, his barrier is just a standard barrier, except it has 3 attributes: fire, lightning, and wind. Basically a better version of the Onoki or the Danzo barrier. He has a very high chance of avoiding a mystery skill, a standard skill, or a chase skill. Now note the or, it's one of these. He can't trigger his dodge multiple times around. So everybody knows what Iruka does by now, but he's basically in this team to give all of my ninjas the 50% resistance shield and 30% ninjutsu and attack buff. Now note that this also goes for the clones, but only after your clones are summoned. So the way this works is, first you put your main character, then you put in Uruka, you drag Iruka out again, and then you put him back in. And if you do it that way, then his passive teaching instructions will activate after you summon the clones. Yeah, basically just use him as a turn 1 interruption for barriers. Use him for the passive, and the 10-hit chase combo damage should not be underestimated. Now, what's the reason for having the Windmaid and the Kunai? Well, that is to take advantage of the Flower Guard passive. At the beginning of a battle, the Windmaid makes herself and one other female ninja immune to all debuffs and gives them a shield based on 40% of resistance. And this also goes for all the clones that she has, so this is pretty fucking insane. Actually, no, I take that back. It doesn't apply the immunity to clones, but Iruka will give all of them a shield, which is still worth it. Let's see. Yeah, you can choose between either the Shadow Clone Jutsu to have a more defensive build. You can either go. Right now I have my mood on plus ninjutsu and minus attack because she doesn't benefit that much from taijutsu. So I have a more offensive approach with the Sage Art, Rasengan Barrage, but you can also just use the Shadow Clone and then put her mood on plus health and minus attack. No, plus health and minus ninjutsu. because then you don't do any ninjutsu damage at all, because the clone standard attack is based off taijutsu. Then I've got my Kurenai. Actually, now that I go through moods, let me just go through mood for everyone. Shisui, obviously ninjutsu plus, because his mystery, if I hover right there, it says nin right next to it. That means it has 0 taijutsu scaling. Now this also means that he does 0 damage to ninjutsu immune targets. I think Tendo is immune, right? Let's see. Character is immune to non-elemental attribute. Okay, so only non-elemental, but this is actually, I'm not sure if he affects if he damages Tendo, but he will apply the 2-round chaos, and he won't damage Susanoo Sasuke because he's immune to ninjutsu, but he will get chaos for 2 rounds no matter what, because it also removes shields and buffs. So obviously you go plus ninjutsu on him. On my Iruka, he's only there for his buff. After that, it doesn't really matter if he survives, so I just put Tai on him so that his mystery and his chase does more damage. You want your Kurenai to survive. She's only going to dish out her shield every turn. For the rest, she doesn't do anything, so plus life for her. And then you choose between plus ninjutsu minus attack and Sage Art Rasengan mystery. Sage Art Rasengan Barrage standard attack, or plus life minus ninjutsu, and then you go with the clones for a more defensive option. Yeah, they synergize together because they're both immune, and Kurenai can reflect the first debuff cost to her every turn. Now, if you're against a fire main, for example, who can reflect debuffs, when you use Shisui, the fire main's passive will activate, bounce it back to you, but because you've got Kurenai, it bounces back to him again. But the bounce will affect a random ninja, so it's not even the person that you're targeting. This means that with Kurenai's chase, she can chaos again. So basically you can chaos 2 units with 1 mystery, and I've had that happen before, and that's pretty much a game changer because you pretty much automatically win the fight from that point on. First turn you can also use her mystery, so if somebody happens to get bursted down, you just shield them up with Kurenai. Then next turn you have enough chakra for Koto Matsukami, and then you reset everyone's skills with Dance of Impetus. And because of Kurenai's other passive, which gives her 50% of the mystery skill that your opponent used, which on turn 2 the opponent is almost always going to use a 40 chakra mystery, it's just going to get bounced back. And then you're going to get the 20 chakra required to do another Kurenai shield, or Demon Wind Shuriken on Iruka. Let me show this in action real quick. And this is a really top tier team. I've won multiple battles with it. I'm 94k battle power, and I can beat roughly 105 to 110k teams. So there you go, those are the chases. With this Kurenai chase right there, that's the most important. You get your 10 hit off as well, as you can see. And you get an extra chase right there, because the second part of the dog isn't used. Now your turn 2 activates. There you go. So turn 2 I've got 0 chakra, it goes to 40. Then I chaos the opponent. It's gonna do the whole mumbo jumbo thing. Because these aren't interruption mysteries, I'm just gonna reset my mystery instantly. There you go, look at the damage. Now, because that mystery cost 20, it gave me 10 chakra and then 10 chakra again. So now I can just use Iruka again. Well, the turn ended, but basically I could use Iruka again. But turn 3, there you go, I get a second Amatsukami. And because the chaos does last 2 rounds, this one of these units right there, this guy is still chaosed all this time, and I've already chaosed the second target. So this team is really powerful, and it's reasonably cheap to assemble. If you somehow got Shisui in a previous event, or you spent 12 to 15,000 coupons for him in this event, you can just get this guy. Iruka is like dirt cheap for 2 stars. I think he's like less than 2,000, 3,000 maybe. And you can just put Kurenai together. Now, it is very important that you do have all the breakthroughs for Kurenai. Like her chase is obviously the most important in this one. Her standard attack is not totally necessary, but it can win you some fights. Because if you use your Koto Amatsukami on one person, you chaos him for 2 rounds, and then your Kurenai is on the bottom, and he chaoses like the Earth Main of an enemy on the bottom row. That's 2 chaos units right there, and then you win the fight. For her breakthrough mystery, now the power behind this team is you can use Kurenai's shield 2 times in a row if you need to. So this, I would also call this crucial. One thing that's very important to note is that the order of how this activates. So first it's gonna restore amount of life, and then it cancels all debuffs. So you have to take that into account. If the opponent has ignition on top of you, then it won't heal you. It's just gonna remove all the debuffs, but you won't get any health back. So the way you prevent that is casting your mystery of Kurenai, and then it prompts up, and then you immediately cast your Wind Main before that, because the Wind Main's mystery will remove all debuffs on all ninjas, and because it removes all debuffs, your other ninjas are not ignited anymore, which means that Kurenai can heal for the full amount. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind. I wouldn't even call this team totally finished, because you can replace Yurika for either Masked Man, which would mean you have another combo. Now the reason you include Masked Man is because of his mystery, obviously. It causes immobile to a unit, and if you queue him up at the end of a turn, like when the person that you want to immobile has used their standard attack and you immobile them after, they will stay immobile next turn. And then you use Shisui on turn 2, then you reset, and then you use Shisui again on turn 3. It means you basically have permanent control of the enemy. They only have one character that they can't do anything with. Another possible option is, of course, no, not Jonin, Minato. I personally have tried to include him. I have the Jonin version, but I found that without the tankiness of the clones to protect your team, you die too fast to survive in the later rounds. But you can use the Hokage version, I'm pretty sure, because he has this beastly passive that gives all units in your field will have their resistance increased by 40%. Like an important thing to take into account is that the base defensive stats of your Shisui are not that great. Like 1300 life, 1000 defense, and 1500 resistance. He's kind of like paper. If any ninja starts a combo on him, he's pretty much dead. So having that 40% resistance is going to be a real lifesaver. And do note that Shisui chases Tag. So yeah, so they even have synergy together. Because if you use your Minato's mystery, once the opponent is tagged, it affects their entire team. So you use Shisui, he's gonna tag someone on the enemy team. Then the enemy is gonna use a 40 chakra mystery. Your Kurenai gets 20 chakra back, and then you use your Minato mystery. And I'm pretty sure this is a better version of my current team. Now, what else can you run? I would not recommend using Shisui with Azure Fang. Obviously, you can run Scarlet Blaze teams. Let's see. A Scarlet Blaze team that I've seen is using the Anbu Itachi like so, and then just like putting in Masked Man here. And this is just a more control-y type team. You have the constant reflect of the Fire Main. Let's see, you would go Illusion Mirror, Firestyle Bomb, Fire Style Enhancement, no, you can Jutsu or this one. This one is more offensive because you do have a platitude of fire ninjas, but I'd go this one and then use the clone to protect your Shisui. And then you'd go with the High Flip Chase. So this team almost manages to get the 20 combo. So the way you would get this combo is you would wait for one of your characters to attack, and when the combo meter is 4 or higher, you're gonna use a mystery. You're gonna use this guy's mystery. Oh, that doesn't actually combo, huh? Well, no. Then this is not the summon I would recommend. So you would want a knockdown combo. This guy chases knockdown. This guy chases high float. I would use probably. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a combo working. Some snake maybe. High float repulse, low float. This guy has low float into repulse, maybe something like this. I'll just experiment with these summons and chases, but this is a very solid team. You've got Itachi to constantly give one of your Uchiha units second attack, and Madara, and I don't know if this is Madara or Obito, but Masked Man and Shisui both count as a Uchiha ninja, so they're both going to get standard attacks. You can use this same team with the Midnight Blade, and once again, the two mains that I would not recommend making a team with is Azure Fang and Crimson Fist, because it's just incredibly hard to make them work with Shisui. So let's go. There's another team with Midnight Blade right here. I think you would put him position 2 probably. Then you would have your Shisui right there, up there to do damage. You would have your Itachi Anbu. And if you don't have Masked Man, you would just run Iruka like this. I believe he does combo really well. Yeah, he gets some nice combos. If your combo starters, your talents would be something like Lightning Ceiling Slash, probably Lightning Assassination. You go this, Warrior's Killing Intent, and Root of the Warrior. Like, these are your two must-haves if you're gonna use Lightning Main with him. So the way this works is you're just gonna fight the fight normally. Iruka buffs everyone. Shisui does insane amounts of damage because he has both the Iruku buff as well as this 40% of killing intent. And when you kill a unit with Warrior's Killing Intent, the mystery activates and it gets reset to 0. So if the enemy has clones or summon units, you can just use Shisui, make sure you have enough damage to kill the clones, and the mystery completely resets. There's a more defensive version where you take Calm Mind. This gives you the option to use Iruka and your Lightning Main in the same turn, and it completely cucks dodge ninjas. So first you would use Iruka, it would make somebody like Minato dodge, and after that you use Lightning Ceiling Slash and you can control them. All the while, your free MVP ninjas are completely immune because you have Root of the Warrior, and free also they get this Warrior's Killing Intent buff. So that's another team you can do. Lastly, what else have I seen? I know there's a user who has actually a very interesting team. Let's see if I can find them. This guy also has a very interesting team. So the way this team works is he does run the clone, I believe. Yeah, right there. He has Han in the front. Han will completely remove all buffs, debuffs of the enemy. But because you're a fire main, you can just use your mystery and give your entire team a 20% shield, and you are still immune to debuffs that entire turn. Let's see. Yeah, then you have Masked Man for control, so you use Han, which costs 20 chakra. After that, you can queue up your Masked Man, and it's gonna immobile them 100%. They won't be able to do anything. You give your entire team immunity, and then on turn 2, you would use your Shisui for damage. Yeah, that's pretty much also an interesting take on the team. This is a more kind of control-y type, because an enemy without buffs is just like fighting a crippled grandpa, you know? You're just bullying somebody at that point. But yeah, this is another team you can use. Let's see. I think I pretty much handled all the really good teams with Shisui. Yeah, obviously I won't have to include Madara. If you have him, of course you'd use him, but if you don't have him, I doubt you would be watching this video in the first place. So yeah, the notable ninjas that you just have to take into account that work well with Shisui are Iruka, Itachi Anbu, obviously. Any main with Kurenai will also work. Let's see, there's also the Scarlet Blaze version of Kurenai that I've seen that actually works. So something like this. And Ripple's Dog, so something like this will also work. This is just a variant of my team. But you would go Fire Style Enhancement because you already have Kurenai for the Genjutsu Mirror. Or you can even play it safer and have double Genjutsu Mirror. So the way double Mirror works is, let's say your opponent is a Fireman with the normal mirror. It's just gonna keep bouncing like ping pong. So you apply Chaos, it bounces back once. Then you have the Genjutsu Mirror, it bounces back again. Let's say they have a Kurenai, then it bounces back to you. Lastly, your Kurenai activates and it bounces back to the enemy. Basically, whoever starts the Chaos has an advantage, which is which is kind of obvious. That's just the way math works. Whew, I think I've pretty much handled all the teams Shisui is viable in. Yeah, and in the future, you can still, this guy is pretty much future-proof. He's gonna be viable for at least another 5-6 months, probably longer. Because right now China is months ahead of us, and he's still used there. So do keep that in mind. He doesn't have any strong breakthroughs, but he does get a bond mystery with the Anbu Itachi. Yeah, and pretty much he's a substitution for almost any barrier ninja in the game. So even if you do pull him and you think he doesn't fit your team, just look at the barriers he gives: fire, lightning, and wind. So you can probably make something work with him. Whew. I think I pretty much handled everything I wanted to discuss about Shisui. So yeah, good luck and have fun out there.